So before we get straight into the intro, I'm just going to make a little disclaimer really quick. Just because you don't see me talk about a certain power on this video does not mean it's bad. You guys are obligated to go to any power that you guys feel or like, but at the same time, this video mainly focuses on the best top 5 powers that are the most talked about, or even those powers that do good in both regular and elite content. Not just one-sided for ads, but have no single target damage. So I really tried to focus on those 5 main powers in this video, but I just wanted to give you guys that little hint before we get straight into it. But I mean, shoot, let's get straight into it. I said that twice. Yo, what is going on, my amazing people? It's your boy Real Gamers with another DC video, and you guys have been begging and begging for me to do a top 5 DPSing powers. So hey, I'm gonna provide that for you guys. And before we even get straight into the video, there have been a lot of new viewers tuning in to me, so if you guys are new to my channel, I encourage you guys to stick along during the video. If you guys like a certain power, then I basically made a power video on everything, so go tune into my channel. The powers that I do bring up, they are not ranked in any order as far as from best to worst. These are just all personally my top 5 the best powers actually that I would recommend for myself to go to, in that fact. And I will be talking about the powers even after the update, so I'm not going to be sugarcoating anything. Okay, so now if you want that certain power where you're all close and personal with these ads, you want to be able to damn near one-shot them with all the burst moves that you're popping, Gadgets is going to be your best friend. Now, Gadgets, everybody knew it was going to be on a list, but at the same time, Gadgets has so much that most others don't know about. This power basically excels in single target. I mean, honestly, this is one of the best single target powers on the game. A lot of people will have trouble keeping up with you if you want to take it into a DPS perspective, but single target, you're going to be destroying. Now, elite and regular content, some people think just because you're in elite content with Gadgets, they think that you're not going to be able to pull off all the damage, which that's wrong. There are so many loadouts that you can use, like a melee or a range for hallways. Like, Gadgets basically excels on just about everything. If it has one flaw, then it has something else that can pick it back up. So Gadgets overall is one of the best powers on the game. Now, my only flaw with this power that I will personally see is the clipping mechanic, which is basically where most of your damage will come from. Now, I'm not trying to sound like a hypocrite from what I just said a couple of seconds ago, but at the same time, yes, Gadgets does have a lot of flaws where there are other pros that will make up for them, but at the same time, one of the biggest flaws I can see for newer players that know little to nothing about this power is, if you want to switch to this power and you expect yourself to do max or burst damage, understand that most of that damage comes from clipping. And say if you miss one rotation or even 2 rotations, you get down because you're all up and close and personal with the ads and you're not used to it, you're gonna get really upset with this power and you're not gonna know what to do. So understand that this power is really bugged, really broken, only if you know how to use it the right way. But there are so many alternatives. Like I said, a damage over time loadout where you can stay range, but I mean, it just depends on your preference. This power overall is really amazing, and hey, have fun with it. Okay, wait. You guys already see the power, you guys see it's sorcery. Before you guys say, oh, what is he talking about? Hear me out, man, hear me out. Now check it, have you ever thought of you wanting all your favorite powers mixed into one? This is the power you'll want to go to. Now, I speak really highly about sorcery because all in all, besides the 10-second parses being nice, the single target being nice, this power reminds me of so much put into one. You have atomic with the burst ticks of damage, you have nature and electric with all the dots that are being shown from soul barrage and bolt barrage. Even if you want me to get technical with this power is technically like munitions, with you staying back doing max damage. I mean, look at these numbers, man. I'm basically having my sweet time while everybody's getting shotted in the front, and I'm just DPSing. So I mean, look at these numbers too. The numbers are beautiful, everything is going the right way. And some people think, how does this power do in elite content? What about the single target? Well, in elite content, for example, this power excels even more, mainly because, you know, ads in elite die a lot slower. With ads dying really slowly, Your goal with sorcery is to get your damage off on basically any and everybody that's in your face. And that's basically similar to nature and electric, how nature wants to kill everything and electric wants to conserve everything and just use it to feed its power. Sorcery is waiting for those big piles, but at the same time it does have the atomic side as well, where it deals a lot of damage from Soul Barrage. It deals a lot of damage from Shard of Life. So all in all, sorcery is a fun power to use. It's not complicated, needing or involving anything with clipping or whatsoever. Moves might be a little confusing because each move does have a different interaction, and some moves do cancel each other out as far as damage, not as far as animation. But like I said, all in all, it is a really fun power to use and you should try it out. Everybody knew it was going to be here, but it's Munitions. Now keep in mind with Munitions, this is a power where if you want to be that type of player that stands in the far back of your group and that's just basically hitting all the ads for max damage, this is going to be your best friend. Now keep in mind, most players that don't know anything about this game might ask what's the best power. Now I will recommend Munitions mainly because this is a power where any new player can go to it, give them a simple 1 through 3 rotation and let them do their work. Now don't get me wrong, not just with you being in the hallway, but even on single target. Single target is kind of what basically makes Munitions stay alive. Munitions range is just a simple left to right. As the single target, you can be creative, you can add as many different things as you want, you can try new things out, and you can see your damage. But overall, your damage is still gonna be high because everything with Munitions hits hard. But still, like I said, Munitions is an amazing power, you should go to it. Now when it comes to fire, fire overall damage is beautiful and amazing. There's just something about fire where it makes it so much different from other powers. I mean, it's so flexible and creative to the point you can use so many different and random loadouts and you can make anything be nice. You can make anything hit hard. Now the combination you will possibly want to run with fire, and this is gonna probably crack your damage out, and that will be the amulet. Now with the amulet, your base might is gonna be jumping all the way to 100k if you have a full 10 stacks. Now say if you have a buff troll in your lobby, your might's gonna be going from 100k all the way to 110k, while everybody else is on a nitro and a compound. You're going to be 10%, 20% up in stats versus anybody else in your lobby. And this is more beneficial towards fire, mainly because you heal the most with this power. And don't get me wrong, there are other powers like Munitions and Berserk spam and Jackhammer spam and even lightweight toss or strike or whatever. But at the same time, fire excels mainly because if you're in elite content, you want to be in elite content with fire. You're going to see your true damage output with you just popping heat vision, flame, what's that move? I mean, it's like when you crank that bitch with like a Kamehameha. Anyways, y'all know what I'm talking about. I mean, y'all just see the damage on elite content. It's so nice, but at the same time, it puts you up there because you're getting out a lot more damage than other people when they have a risk of dying. So that's why I mainly put this power on the list. Now with the final power that's being spoken about, it's nature, and honestly even after patch, nature still tends to do a lot of damage even in elite content with single target. Now don't get me wrong, just because the patch did happen doesn't mean that this power got deranked in tier. This is still a top tier power, and if there are ads in the hallway that are below half and you are in gorilla form and you pop Impelling Thorns, you are taking all that damage for yourself. Even though Wolf and Gorilla form were heavily impacted with this update that happened, you are still going to be hitting some really hard parsers, and honestly I still like it. It's as much as I don't want to admit it, and I still like Wolf form. Now I'm not that big on artifacts, and nature is an artifact power, meaning if you want nature to be okay, or if you want to use nature to your full potential, you are going to need the Eye of Gemini, you are going to need the Scrap of the Soul Cloak. Well, the Scrap is optional, definitely the transformation card, and you can use the Grim if optional. But I mean, if you don't want to go into the artifact side, you can just go into gorilla form and use your normal 3 artifacts that you maybe we're using for any other power. But besides artifacts, base damage alone is still going to be more than enough damage. Even though the hotfix did happen and it did drop a hammer on this power a lot, at the same time you are still going to be putting up some numbers that most other powers cannot keep up with. This power really does excel and have a lot of burst damage to the point where you're going to be getting off quicker numbers than most other powers, and even though this power was fixed, you're still going to be putting up more damage a lot quicker than other people can get through their first rotation. And that's just the glory about nature. You have, like I said, you have a lot of transformations to pick from. I've even seen people DPS in bug form, and I'm not gonna really talk too much about it, but I mean, who knows, that might be the new thing now. Now, I'm gonna be completely honest with some of my unlucky players out there. If you're that person that gets one-shotted in basically every raid, or you're just not that good with surviving, I would not recommend this power. It does have a lot to offer, and it does have good survivability, amazing damage, perfect for elite content, even regular content just to experiment with. But if you're not that good with surviving, and you say you go into gorilla form, full supercharge bar, and you get one-shotted. Once again, I do want to be as detailed as possible because some people don't understand this yet, but nature, these transformations with me being a gorilla right now or me being a wolf earlier, it does take supercharge meter, and with the update that came out, it takes 50% supercharge to go into your wolf form. It takes 50% to go into your gorilla form. That is a lot of supercharge meter. Now, say if you're just stumbling into this video, you see me talk about nature and you feel like switching. If you have no current knowledge of nature, understand you have to survive because this is a gambling power, and if you get one-shotted in elite content or even regular content, it's going to suck trying to get your supercharge meter back, because then again, you're going to be stuck at 0, you're going to be in human form doing no damage, everybody's going to be out DPSing you, and you feel like switching right now. So I mean, this is a gambling power. It does pay off at times, but there are those unlucky times where you can get one-shotted as well. So hopefully this video did help you guys out. This is actually wrapping up the video. If there's anything I forgot to mention, please bring it up in the comments. This is my first top 5 video, so I'm sure I did forget a couple of main key points for some of these powers, but hopefully you guys caught on, bared with me at the same time, and yeah, I'll see you guys on my next video. Hopefully you guys take care and enjoyed the video, and yep, take it easy.